Hi boys and girls, it's Miss Harling again. I'm here to show you tonight's homework for Tuesday, September 29th. At the top it says round to the nearest 10 or 100. This is practice and homework lesson 1.2. At the bottom it says chapter 1, page 15. Now, we didn't do page 14 and I'm not going to do it. I showed you page 13. You should have copied everything that was in there, and now you're getting homework. This is tonight's homework. I'm going to start it for you, but the rest of it you will do on your own so I can see how much you've learned from what we talked about, okay? So at the top it says locate and label 739 on the number line. Round to the nearest 100. So I'm going to do this one with you. So we know a number line is a strategy that we can use to help us round numbers. So we're rounding to the nearest 100. The number is 739, and let's see where it goes. If you look on the number line, and I'll zoom in a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing, and you should be doing it also with your pencil. 750 comes between 700 and 800. So 739 has to come before 750. So if I'm going to mark it, I'm going to mark it like maybe right here. Little bit in front of 750. So please do that with your pencil now. All right, now they started it for you and they gave you the answers. It says 739 is between 700 and 800. We know that because that's where we put it, between 700 and 800. 739 is closer to, when you look, it's closer to 700 than it is to 800. So we're going to put 700. It's closer to 700 than it is to 800. So 739 rounded to the nearest 100 is 700. So I did that part with you. Now, they're asking you to either round to the nearest 10 or round to the nearest 100. If it's a 2-digit number, round to the nearest 10. If it's a 3-digit number, round to the nearest 100. But they really want you to do both for each number. For each number, they want you to round to the nearest 10 and round to the nearest 100. I'm sorry. So let's do this. Let's try number 4 together. I'm going to do a few with you. I'm not doing everything. 66. If I first round it to the nearest 10, it's closer to 70. If I round it to the nearest 100, it's closer to 100. So you can write that as your answer. All right, I'm going to do one more with you in this section. I'm going to go all the way to number 9. So now, again, you're rounding to the nearest 10 and you're rounding it to the nearest 100. First, I'm going to round it to the nearest 10. So I'm looking at the 9 to see what to do to the 4. 9 is high, so I have to go up to the next 10. So 949 is closer to 950. Now I'm going to round it to the nearest 100. When I round it to the nearest 100, I look at the 4 to see what to do to the 9. 4 is a low number. So am I going to stay at 900 or go to 1,000? If 4 is low, I'm staying at 900. All right, so those might be a little tricky for you boys and girls, but Miss Harlan did number 9 and I did number 4. You have to do 5, 6, 7, and 8 on your own. If you want help at home, that's fine. This is not a test, so your parents can help you. All right, at the bottom, there's some problem solving. I'm definitely doing these because we didn't talk about these. You have to read the problem and decide on the answer. Number 10, let me zoom in so you can all see it. It says, the baby elephant weighs 435 pounds. What is its weight rounded to the nearest 100 pounds? So we're rounding to the nearest 100. The number is 435. Well, if I look at 435, I have to look at the 3 in the tens place to see what to do to the 4. Well, 3 is a low number. So am I going to stay at 400 or am I going to go to 500? I'm going to stay at 400. So when I round this to the nearest 100, it's 400. So the baby elephant weighs about 400 pounds. This is the rounding number. This is the actual weight of the baby elephant, but we rounded it to the nearest 100. All right, so I won't do 11. See if you can do that one on your own. You can have your parents help you. This one's tricky because you have to round to the nearest 10, boys and girls. All right, and it's a 3-digit number. So let's see if you can do that. Now, at the bottom, number 12, I always do number 12 with my students because it's a writing part of the math. It's not, you can write a number, but you also have to write a sentence. So here's what it says. Describe how to round 678 to the nearest 100. Well, I've been telling you how to do it. Now we're going to write it in words. How would we write this number to the nearest, or excuse me, how would we round this number to the nearest 100? Well, we're going to write down what we would do. So you can say, I look in the tens place, and I'll stop there for a minute so you guys can copy. Again, I am only going to put this video up at the end of school, so you will not see it any earlier than that. And you can look at it while you're doing your homework that afternoon, or tomorrow afternoon, or Tuesday afternoon is what I should say. So Tuesday afternoon, you will be able to see this video, not any sooner, because this is homework. So we're writing how we would round 678. Please write, I look in the tens place, comma, to decide if I will stay at 600 or round up to 700. So I'll stop there so you can copy. It says, decide how to round 678 to the nearest 100. What are you going to do? I look in the tens place to decide if I will stay at 600 or round up to 700. So let's do it. Again, you may pause this video whenever you need to. If you think I'm going too fast, then you can play it again so you can continue, or you can hit play so you can continue. But you can pause it anytime you need to. But I'm going to keep going. So I'm just going to write 678 over here. I look in the tens place. That's a 7. That's going to help me decide what to do to this 6. Well, 7 is a high number, so I'm not going to stay at 600. I am going to go to 700. So 678 rounded to the nearest 100 is 700. Okay, again, I'll zoom out so you can see everything that you need to write on page 15. All right, now I'm going to the back. Again, if I went too fast, pause the video, write everything you need to write, and then you can hit play again. On the back, we are now on page 16, and it says lesson check. These are just review questions. Some of them still have to do with rounding. So I'll do number 2. I won't do number 1. Number 2 says, Sammy ordered 132 dresses for her store. What is 132 rounded to the nearest 10? Well, we're only rounding to the nearest 10. So you should be looking at the 2 to see what to do to the 3. The 1 will stay because we're not rounding to the nearest 100. We're rounding to the nearest 10. So is 2 a high or a low number? It's low. So do we stay at 30 or do we go to 40? We stay at 30. So our final answer is 130. All right. Number 3, it says, what property does this number sentence describe? Well, we haven't talked about that, but any number that you add to 0 and you get that same number back, that's called the identity property. So you can copy that if you'd like. We didn't talk about it because I really want to move on. There's some other things I really want to do. All right. Number 4, I'm not doing. We talked about odd and even. Number 5, what name describes this shape? Not doing it. You should be able to tell me what that is. Number 6, what word describes the shares of the equal, what word describes the equal shares of the shape? Well, this rectangle is divided into 4 parts, right? Now, we haven't talked about this, but the answer is, sorry, I'm ripping the paper, fourths. That should be your answer for number 6. So I did some on the back. I did some on the front. The rest is for you to do on your own. Okay, I hope you were able to copy what I put on the video because I helped you with your homework. Now you are to do the rest on your own. I will see you tomorrow, boys and girls. Bye for now.